I guess I wanted to get this out. Uh, some type of initial reaction to the Detroit Lions loss. I don't even have words. It's just so gross. I really feel like I should like take a shower after watching that game. It was that nasty. I can't even look at the positives. I can't even look at the positives. You got dudes hurt, got injured in that game, fought all for nothing. Uh, it was literally all for nothing, just based off like some horrible, 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 horrible decisions, man. I see look in the chat. Easy one a hug. I'm gonna go pick up my son right now. I'm hoping he cheers me up, man. That was gross. That was god awful coaching in that fourth quarter, man. I for real don't even have words, man. Luca, I know you're in the DSA chat. As soon as that third down happened, I shot straight there. I, it was such an SOL moment, man. I hate to bring that up, even acknowledge the term. I was hoping like we'd be, distance ourselves away from that this year, but that fourth quarter was obviously there's like execution moments on the players, right? Especially on touchdown. Hold on one second. I just turned my notification off just in case someone calls me. Now obviously like there's like execution stuff you could point to on the Osborne touchdown. The whole turning point of the game was 3rd and 1 after. Oh my goodness gracious, man! After two consecutive run plays that got you there, meaning your offensive line was dominant. You averaged the most yards before even getting contacted. 3rd and 1. And not only do you choose a pass play, you dial up one down deep to Josh Reynolds. What? 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 What the fuck? Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just wow. Holy sh! I'm mad again. I'm re-mad again. It's happening. But how? How, bro? You literally have one of the most dominant run games in the NFL right now. That was just so stupid. Oh, and then guess what? They scored a touchdown immediately after you punted the ball to them. And great field position. And they scored a touchdown. That's crazy. That's oh man. I knew it, bro. I knew it, man. Sorry for screaming and acting like a lunatic, guys. I apologize. I noticed my numbers just went down, but holy shit. That was stupid. Mackenzie said that was some Matt Patricia coaching in the fourth, bro. It was hard to watch this. It was seriously, it was hard to watch. I had to pull myself from the Red Zone channel back to the Lions game because I'm blessed now with the opportunity to talk about the Lions as one of my jobs. So I had to watch it. But trust and believe, I did not want to watch it. Oh man, oh man. Kuda locked up Jefferson up. That's the whole. That's what I'm saying, man. Like guys out there really like put their all out there. I'm saying like really had like Jeff Okuda just locked down the, in my opinion, the best wide receiver in the league. Could it be questioned now after being shut down 2 weeks in a row? Yeah, maybe. But nonetheless, he's still top 5 regardless. And you just had your number 3 overall pick, the one that's been taking so much abuse, man. I'm so proud of that, man. Jeff Okuda, man. I'm so happy and proud and just like man. And that's what I'm saying. Like, there's coaching pieces here. There's coaching pieces here, but they're just like that 31 call. I really, I wish I was like in a mental place where I could have texted Maddie to have her ask Campbell like whose bright idea was that? Because like if it's Ben Johnson's, I'll excuse it, but it feels very much like a Campbell thing. I don't know if that's just because like he's the easy guy to blame because he is the face of the entire team, but like, damn, bro, damn, Looney Tune, 100%, bro. Like what? What, bro? Like 31. Let's go deep. Yeah, it was wild, man. I screamed all last season for Swift to start. Was called the clown. I mean, Swift did start. He just didn't start the first game last year. Kirby Joseph balled out. Kirby Joseph very much a project. Jay Wills killed the Vikings defense. Talking about Jamal Williams. I mean, he did have 2 touchdowns today. Pascal was a monster today. I mean, he's hurt. Come on, Luke, you tripping right now? Can't write the book on these guys as their rookie year, especially at safety. Any secondary guy. I think Jeff Kuda has proven that in itself. I mean, obviously with the Darius Slay situation, I'd say Jeff Okudah probably another example of that this year so far too. Like any secondary position, I feel like we gotta wait 4 games to the third year to make unless like they're absolute boo boo. We don't need a safety. I mean, we got a safety. He's very much in development. Walker went out, next man up, killed it. I mean, I don't even think that like the safeties. I mean, obviously they watch the all 22. I just know Amani Warrior was out there getting abused more than anybody, more than anybody on that defensive end of the ball. Amani Warrior was getting by everybody. It wasn't even like I could point to Adam Thielen, and that's crazy too. Like when I was pointing out the game this week, or like looking at matchups, or just like saying who's got the better offense, whatever. I was like, Adam Thielen ain't done nothing in quite some time, and here we go, embarrassing Amani Warrior, embarrassed. But Amani was, and I don't know if this it had to be his back. Amani was getting just cooked by everybody. I'm talking about even like there was like a couple of times there was like the tight end that we didn't even know existed until today. He was getting cooked by. I think he got cooked once by a fullback and was just bailed out by a bad pass. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. Um, yeah, man. I really don't know that 31. I don't know if it's Dan Campbell call or Ben Johnson call. Obviously, Ben Johnson calling the plays, but just like I don't even. Just an example of like trying to be the smartest man in the room, which is crazy because I do think Ben Johnson is a smart man. I definitely think that, but maybe just I don't even know. I really don't know, guys. I really, and it's crazy too because like I want to speak highly of this coaching staff because again, you see just this team as what it is. Like if we're being realistic about it, we all know we're lacking talent in a lot of areas. We just are, and we've seen guys step up. Dan Skipper, Evan Brown today, Logan Steinberg before him. I think Frank Haley's been a great positional coach. I think Ben Johnson's been a great offensive coordinator in terms of like drawing up schemes, but executing like the play calling side of it. I mean, this is his first year in it. Do I give him some grace period? Yeah, it's hard because like I want to say they're a good coaching staff, but today was just uh, they weren't today. They just weren't today. If I were to give you the homer take side of it, like they were up until the fourth quarter. I don't know. I that was, and I mean, in the field goal too. Obviously, that's a critical moment too. You could point to. Um, I mean, even then, I definitely agree that you go for it in the fourth down. It's one of those hindsight takes, right? Because But the reality of the truth, though, like realistically, those 3 points do nothing for you because you know they're coming down for a touchdown either way. They're not playing to tie the game. You play to win the game, right? Like you know they're going for a touchdown. So you kicking that field goal really wouldn't have done nothing for you but saved you from a tie. But I promise you they weren't going for a tie. If they got stopped at any point on fourth down, obviously unless they're in field goal range, they're going for the touchdown. I mean, shoot, they might just go for it either way, based off what they did the end of that first half. You know what I'm saying? Try all the disrespect in the end of the first half. That was crazy. Most teams sometimes might just take a knee and go back to the crib. I think there's like 57 seconds. I mean, there's like 47 seconds left. They're like, nah, we don't respect the lines like that. We're about to go down there, try to score. Let's get one more again. You know what I'm saying? Before we come back out with halftime, man. It's crazy. Crazy. Um, Looney Tune, I'm just honest, objective fan. Kenzie said, you can see the loss coming, just how they was playing. No catches for Chark or TJ in the fourth with an Amon Ra and Swift hurt. Yeah, that's true. I mean, Jameson Williams balled out. He was going deep all game. Luke, what are you talking about, fam? I don't like this is. I would point to those if this was like next year. You know what I'm saying? Like year three. Because I think Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes still like very much believe they're in the developmental stage with this team. I think you point to like the Hard Knocks episode where um, Dan Campbell went up to Frank Reich and he was like, "I appreciate this opportunity. Our guys can really use the work." I think Dan Campbell also made another statement in the beginning of the season where he was like, "Yo, these first 4 games, I'm sorry, first 2 games are like correcting your mistakes." You know what I'm saying, like getting down the MAs, and then we worry about winning games. Because as soon as you execute everything you need to do and on that play, the wins just come. Essentially, is like what he came along with. So I think the perspective of the organization, I guess, front office more so, is very much developmental stage, and that's why I think it's okay you're waiting on a Pascal and a Josh Reynolds. I don't think it's okay that we're waiting on a Levi Onwuzurike. I think that situation definitely sucks because that's an injury. I mean, the back injury we just saw it now too. I think it retired Crosby and um, the Penasini too. I don't know. I don't remember off the top of my head why Penasini retired, but I know Crosby was like a degenerative back issue. Like back stuff just isn't nothing to play with. But I mean, if you believed in Levi, I guess take the risk. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we're in developmental stage, but to do it again this year with Pascal, because the thing that is concerning about Pascal is like, okay, he realistically had that injury in their bowl game, in Kentucky's bowl game, and I don't believe he played because of it. He had that hip injury, and which ended up obviously looks like a hernia issue. All right. So that's probably what around December. So you assume he get that fixed then. Like that's when you have your hernia surgery, but maybe not because of the draft testing as well though for combine stuff too. So maybe that's not. Maybe that's why he didn't get it. But even so, after that, well, he didn't sign his contract. All right, I just put it. I just pieced that together. Why he waited so long to get the hernia surgery. But hernia surgery ain't nothing like career ending like a back injury with Levi Onwuzurike. But I still am very much excited for Jameson Williams, uh, to join this offense. I mean, you guys already should know by this point. I think Jared Goff is quite limited as a quarterback. Um, so Jameson Williams has a big playability. I think you look at like the motion sweeps that Amon Ra was running last week, some this week too. You know, like the sweep that Amon Ra had last week. And Amon Ra's a dog. I'm not trying to discount him at all, but like, imagine, imagine like Jameson Williams getting that sweep. Like that's to the crib. It's to the crib, man. Sorry guys. I honestly appreciate you guys rocking in, hopping live. I probably had to do this either way just to clear my mind because I was just like, I mean, I don't know who's been here since the beginning of this, but it was so nasty that fourth quarter, man. I really feel like I need to take a shower after watching that game. It was bad. Um, easy, just breathe. Looney Tune. I didn't expect the money to come out. Luke, this is the season. I thought he would be better. I feel like I've always said this too. Like even on the heavyweights, Spencer was a big fan of Amani, and I was like, yo, you gotta chill a little bit. I get he had the interceptions last year, but a lot of the interceptions were opportunistic. I think he's a solid player, but I don't think he was as bad as like today. That was crazy. Today was just wow. Easy to breathe. Little becomes the big, and I keep saying this, but getting called everything but my name. Um, so I guess it depends. Like, yeah, the little becomes the big, but at what stage? I'm saying like, if you're a kid doing stupid things, you're like, your brain's still developing. You're still like learning things. Like you're not, you know, when it's adult doing things, it's different. You're just like, okay, I'm concerned. Like that's not a little thing. You're stupid. You didn't learn from when you were a kid. This regime has nothing to learn from as far as like obviously last year was gonna be ugly either way. This year's supposed to be a little bit better. I know I went out and went for the fanfare and said 9 wins, but I've fallen to 7 since then. Just realistic expectations, like injuries and stuff like that too. I don't know, man. Easy Lucas joking, bro. How you not see it? Is he trolling me? Lions have should realistically be 3-0. Both losses have been coaching mistakes. I think the Lions should be 2-1. I think the Eagles were. I don't think there's any coaching. Obviously, there's like stuff you could, in hindsight, say was coaching mistakes. If you're gonna talk about the fourth quarter or the onside kick in the Eagles game, I that's so fucking weak to me. To be honest with you, like just literally in your head. Um, uh, Probably like I think there's more so on the execution of the kick itself. If you go back and watch the game, but like just probability wise, like do you think you're more likely to get an onside kick when they know you need an onside kick in the extra position, or do you think you're more likely to recover an onside kick when they don't see it coming, right? And don't forget that Dan Campbell was part of the regime that won a Super Bowl that way with Sean Payton against the Indianapolis Colts, and then he also did it last year against the LA Rams. You know what I'm saying we loved it then. It's just one of those situations. I mean, it's just you put your nuts on the table. You know what I'm saying? It's if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. Assad Lewis says Dan Campbell is a clown. As much as I would love to defend Dan Campbell, that fourth quarter was atrocious, man. I didn't even get to talk about the field goal. Yeah, I apologize. Yeah, if you that field goal does nothing for you, maybe it takes a little extra time if you go throughout the kickoff and maybe they start from like and obviously yeah they start from further at that point because of the kickoff or maybe you squib it. I mean I don't know, but I think much like it's like a fourth down, 3 seconds left, you score a touchdown, you win, end of game, right? That 4th and 4, if you get that first down, you win the game. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no they're out of timeouts at that point. The 2-minute warning was passed, so like uh if I could have the timing wrong on the timeout stuff like that, but like no, very much so. If you get that 4th and 4, you win the game. So I definitely think because obviously the field goal situation too. Austin Siebert's career high is 54 yards. He already had a miss from like 48 or 46 earlier in the game. You're kicking from 53, or maybe it was 54, knowing that's like the longest he's ever made. He's already had a miss. I personally would go for that fourth down, but for me, it's not just that call. It was that whole. I mean, he started with the 3rd and 1, where we just dialed it up down deep for no good damn reason, man. For no good damn reason. I'm on my live. Shout out to everybody too tapping in on the Speakeasy page. I know I've been live from here for a minute. I was gonna go live from the heavyweights page, but I somehow got signed out. Maybe Spinny's squeezing me out. Um, Looney Tunes says, "No, I'm glad we got an early bye week." Luke said, "This draft is a A plus 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 plus. No negative talk for me, baby. I'm all positive, love, and joy." Imagine if Lions drafted players who actually play year one for picks in top 100. Again, we're very much in developmental stage. I ain't tripping over that stuff. Uh, at the Viking stage, love TV stage. What? School stage, all stages. Discipline and play calling. Discipline and play calling, man. Look, man. As soon as I tuned in, it was downhill. Epic, this is all your fault, man. You brought up all that bad juju from Ohio. Didn't lose because of Lions didn't lose because of injuries, refs, coaching, poor time management, play calling. They lost because they needed more cowbell. What? If Eagles didn't get that pick six, Lions outscored Eagles, which would result in a win. Yes, very true. Very true. I don't understand why he did that. He already shot the kicker's confidence. Yeah, yeah, I'm with you, man. Go for it. Go for it. Hey, Luke, if you want to go live, I'll listen. Cause yeah, I do gotta go get my son. Spinny gonna have to tell me about Amani Oruwariye. Look, man, Spinny be getting his moods too. So like, I almost want to call him out as well. We'll see. I'll let you do it, Epic. Make sure you guys tune to Woodward Heavyweights live from 5 to 7 tomorrow. If you're in town, we do the show live from the Coliseum nightclub. You want to stop by? I would definitely probably stay in it for a couple of drinks tomorrow. It just really bothers me how you don't go for it on 4th and 4, considering the kicker and all that, and you've been aggressive all game on fourth quarter, on fourth down. I'm sure you mean, except the last drive. No, yeah, for sure, man, 100%. Man, Amani regressing this year, yeah. And Foe, I'd love to defend the same old Lions take, but that was very, very, very much a same old Lions game. That was. I just keep going back to that 3rd and 1, and I keep thinking like maybe I could talk about it again. But I am and oh man, I was infuriated. I was infuriated. Emrod was a big factor in shutting down the run. He was like Ray Lewis balling in my Jim Jones voice. Malcolm Rodriguez had a solid game. You know, I don't think it was like super super good. Um, they definitely like break out for too many big runs on us. I think Malcolm had a pretty good game. I think Luke, you just dig your heels in on these L's, bro. It's crazy. You dig them in like no other. Just admit Malcolm's a good football player, man. I don't like golf that much, but Ben Johnson has him looking like he was with McVay. Yeah, yeah. There was a fantastic article by Ted Wynn from the Athletic, and that offense, the passing game at least, is very much built upon things that golf was successful with in LA. Why is that something that Anthony Lynn didn't do last year? I don't know, but it is what it is. We got Ben Johnson now. Everything happens for a reason. But yeah, no, it is. And like I used to hate golf passing on like 3rd and shorts or 4th and 1s and stuff like that last year. Uh, but he's been pretty effective this year. I just sometimes I'm just never like dialing up anything to have him go deep. I think golf can be an accurate passer, not like the most accurate, but like he's fairly accurate within like range. But like when that boy has to dial up past 20 yards, that ball gets to shaking a little bit. Gets to shaking and gets to shaking in the air. You know what I'm saying? Gets a little wobbly out there. Like it had a couple drinks. So um, Emrod is effing amazing. You see him running with that tight end as he caught pass after pass. Luke, I think you need to run back the tape on that one. By the way, yes, Irv Smith, who was a good tight end, I think had 2 for sure catches, one good one on Malcolm. Um, Other than that, Bob, I think you need to run that tape back. What grade to give AH Week 3 versus Vikings? I actually, as crazy as it sounds, I never like really pinpointed for some reason. I'm really watching more Charles Harris today than Aiden Hutchinson, but that's only because our by the numbers segment Friday, I pointed out that Charles Harris has 3 sacks in 2 games versus the Minnesota Vikings. So I wanted to see, you know what I'm saying? I was trying to see what Charles Harris is doing. So I do have to watch back to see what my guy Aiden Hutchinson did. So we'll see. I mean, now he's very much dealing with a thigh injury that's kept him out of practice all week. I don't even know that he should have. I mean, he's definitely not his full self out there though. For just from everything this week, it's being held out of practice is like, you know, I don't know. That's not a good thing. It's deep thigh contusion from like what we were told last week, and I think he just gave it a go. But to be honest with you, like I'd rather have Austin Bryant in at 100% than Aiden Hutchinson at like 60, 70%. Just my opinion. Rodrigo and Kuda have been the only guys on defense to show up in every game. Yes, fair. I bet you did watch Charles Harris, ML. Nothing to see from Aiden Hudson all game. Uh, yeah, Goff does not have a pretty ball. Luke's always trolling, man. Luke's always trolling. Um, Agreed. I don't know why we still playing Swift and AH. Let them rest and be 100%. Yeah, I think for sure at least like let. No, I'm with you actually. I'm cool with like letting both those guys. Obviously, you're not gonna get 100%. I think they said that at some point during the game too. Is like you're not going to get 100% unless you give it some time. So I wouldn't be mad. Um, I mean, I have fantasy implications on the line, but I wouldn't be mad if they sat Swift next week. We're at home against a winnable team. God damn, today we had that game, bro. We would have been first in the division. But yeah, my kicker is pretty garbage so far. Um, it's crazy. There's like three things I could like nitpick Brad Holmes for. First thing, Levi Enrique. Second thing, and like obviously a lot of people don't agree with this take, but I think could have grabbed uh, a quarterback at some point. Like I said, even if you're taking a flyer on somebody, we drafted James Mitchell. And I understand tight end is another one of those positions that's hard to like. There's a stat out there like rookie tight ends don't really like generate too much until like their second or third years. Uh, but we took James Mitchell, another injured guy by the way. I want to say in like the fourth or fifth round. Um, there's still a couple QBs in the board that I would have just took a shot on. So those are 1, 2. Levi, the quarterback. The number 3 for me, Matt Prater. There was just no reason to let him go or not re-sign him. If your goal, unless your goal was to tank, which I don't believe is a thing in the NFL. So I think it just results in just being a poor decision. Matt Prater's still doing the damn thing, and we're very much still a question mark. Tank for Bryce Young. I'm not gonna lie though, I like Bryce Young, but he scares me too, and so does Stroud. It's I don't think Tua is good. I think he's very much like mid, but and I think Bryce Young is better than Tua, but like I don't know, man. I'm just not a fan of those undersized quarterbacks. It's just I like Russ. Russell Wilson's like actually like one of my favorites, but because he's undersized, I'm saying because he's overcame a lot of BS. I don't know that Stroud or Young. They're both like 5'9", 5'10". You know, I don't know. Just me. I don't even get to evaluating quarterbacks until time. Until it's time to. Just because, bro, you've seen so many people. I mean, obviously, not everybody's like broadcasting like I am or Luke is. It's like we're just conveyor belts of opinion. So anytime we do get one wrong, we're going to get shit on. But like a lot of you in the comment section, or even actually there's analysts and everything from like years prior, we're talking about Spencer Radler, um, freaking who's the other one? Sam Howell. All those guys as being like first round prospects for like the Lions. Because I remember specifically because I wanted Trey Lance like a mug. And that's why I was told. You know what I'm saying? I was told we had Spencer Radler, Howell, Corral, um, the other guy too who got cut, not picked back up. I think he went to Vegas or some shit like that. I'm told those guys are coming out the next year, so we don't have to take a quarterback. And then they had that year in the draft class, they looked like hot garbage. And they all literally fell out of the first round outside of Kenny Pickett, which wasn't one of the names mentioned, but whatever. Um, so I don't like to give opinions on quarterbacks until it's like time to give an opinion on the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like once I had the full resume, then I feel more comfortable saying stuff. I mean, there was a point where I, fell on the train of Justin Fields, which, if I'm being honest with you, too, I'm still not even like fully ready to shit on him. I think he's very much in a shitty situation in Chicago. That's like inarguable. You cannot say that he's not in a shitty situation in Chicago. They hired a defensive coordinator as a coach. They had no first round picks because they traded up to get him. I know my guy Adam in the morning show was trying to go at Ryan Pohl, but I was like, Ryan Pohl didn't hire Eberflus, and then he also had no first round picks to work with. But it's fuck the Bears, so I die. That's for damn sure. Let me turn my wipers on 1 second. But yeah, even if Jameson come back, let's just say week 9, he still won't be game shape ready. So it's likens not to see any actual help from until week 13. I think he'll be back before week 9. But I mean, that's a good point. Maybe he doesn't come back until week 9. But we've got Jerry Jacobs coming back, Josh Pascal. I don't know what's going on with Romeo Quara, and if I'm keeping it a buck with you guys, I don't know that Romeo Quara comes back as the same guy that he would. I think obviously Jeff Okudah come back from Achilles injury, but I mean that injury, I think it varies based on your position. Like at the cornerback position, you're able to run more freely. You know what I'm saying? You don't. Whereas lineman, you're really planting that foot down and using that Achilles for like a burst of explosion to either shed blockers, make tackles, or like obviously the Achilles injury. I feel like wouldn't affect. I'm obviously going to affect you every way, but I just feel like it's more effective on a defensive line. Obviously, Cam Akers coming back from his Achilles injury has not looked the same. Golf passed 41 times, bro. Yeah, I don't have the numbers in front of me right now. How many completions did he have? Kind of curious. I would guess like 26, probably 26 or 41. Which, like, whatever, man. Like, just I would have been a lot happier if he only had 40 completions. And that 3rd and 1 was, I would rather have gotten stuffed in that situation. That game turned around at that very point. Literally, that is the turning point of the game. Because the Vikings got the ball following that punt. What they do with it? They scored a touchdown. Uh, uh, and like, actually, I'll probably wait to heavyweights. I mean, obviously can't do a poll right now because I'm driving and stuff like that. But like, curious how people view that versus that the onside kick in week 1. Because I think that 3rd and 1 was way more crucial to like a lot of things than that onside kick. Onside kick's a 50-50 chance, and based a lot on execution. Obviously, everything's based on execution, but like sometimes you fuck up just based off philosophy and theory, and it's just a bad fucking call. 3rd and 1, drawing up a pass play when you have one of the most dominant offensive fronts in the National Football League. It's just wild to me. That is wild. 25 completions, by the way. Damn, I was 1 off. That's pretty good. I would have benched 2-4. I would have benched 2-4 too. I would have benched him too. Um, I'm not a fan of Will Harris, but like he's clearly struggling out there, bro. You got to try something else. Like I'm telling you, he was getting abused by everybody. It wasn't just Adam Thielen. He was getting abused by all the white guys on their team. The tight ends, the fullbacks. He was struggling, bro. He was struggling. Uh-oh. Bench 2-4 for who? Will Harris? Yeah, but let's be real, Luke. Will Harris could have not done too much worse than Amani Warrior today. Keep it a buck. That's what I'm saying with the Aiden Hutchinson thing, too. Is like if guys can't play 100%, which I understand nobody's 100%. It's the NFL. But if guy is like healthier to go, and I have a guy who's like was my starter, but he's like not himself, he's not my starter. You know what I'm saying? He's not the guy that I chose to start at that position. That's not that person because he can't perform to that level because he has an injury. So I'm sorry. At this, I would have, yeah, probably would have tried Will Harris. I don't know if that would have changed anything in the game. I mean, obviously Will Harris started last week, Monty Warrior was out. He had an interception. The Detroit Lions won. I don't know, man. Okay, so let me just say this. Okuda played well because he had safety help. Amani left on an island. Nah. Okuda, I don't know. I mean, obviously, I know towards the end for sure he had some safety help in that fourth quarter. Okuda was doing fairly well. Okuda did a great job. Okuda, you're not taking anything away from what Jeff Okuda did today. Uh, I don't know if you know this, Luke, but Justin Jefferson probably one of the best wide receivers in the league. Just say it. Just say it. Time to draft the tight end from Rio Safagzi. Just started laughing at. Damn, I can't believe I was almost on the money with those completions. What do you have, like 260 yards? Yeah, no excuse for the flags. No excuse for the flags. Yeah, sounds right too. You know what I'm saying? He's much more of a vertical threat than Adam Thielen, so it would just make sense. Easy for real. You need easy for real. You need to really be talking about Aiden Hutchinson, the Lions front seven as a whole. That D line is not the linebacker's not it. Um, I definitely think there's a lot of pressure on Kirk Cousins today. They just didn't finish. I gotta watch the end of that first quarter. Cousins was pressured into making a lot of poor throws. I don't know what color this Jeep next to me is painted, but that should look pretty. We lost because of defense. Period. So many aspects of losing a football game, but yeah, I would go again. I would go to that 3rd-and-1 call though. Above, I would say above everything, but that 4th and 4 literally could have just won you the game quite literally. So I guess yeah, I put the 4th and 4 over it, but the pendulum swung very much so after we dialed it up deep on 3rd-and-1. That shit was rough. Hawk also played really good, pretty good blocking tight end. But unless they got him more involved in this offense, they should look into trading him. Well, we actually have him for next year too. So we picked up the 5th-year option this year. This is his 4th year, so next year we would have him. So he's still tradable for next year as well. The guy we took 2nd overall has been MIA. Washington gave up 5 sacks. Luke, you are wilding, bro. To say he was MIA in game 1 or game 2 was just completely incorrect. That's just so far off. That's your Malcolm Rodriguez take. Still trying to say he's not good. Yeah, he's in the starting lineup week 1. They grade him. Dan Campbell comes out because I know you don't like PFF. Dan Campbell comes out and says the kid had no missed assignments, meaning he did his job pretty damn well. Stout as hell in the run defense last week. You just be digging your heels, man. Hey, Luke, Aiden was there game 1 and game 2. Now game 2 he happened to get hurt. We saw a difference. Aiden from the first half to the second half. First half, Aiden had 3 sacks. Second half, Aiden had a thigh contusion. That Aiden lasted to this week. Lost because our offense stalled out and they refused to run the ball. Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's so many factors in this game. I can't just strictly blame the defense. If it's 24-14 and I don't know, man. We got stagnant. You know what I'm saying? We got that just trying to run the clock down type offense. It felt like once we went up 24-14. Oh my God, I can't believe we're up 24-14 in the 4th quarter. That is crazy. That's disgusting. That's so disgusting. Man. AH was 1 tackle in my game. Yeah, 1 total tackle, 2 assisted tackles. I do Lions offense had to score 35 points to win. That's just kind of the way of the NFL, right? The team who scores the most points usually wins. think it was a little bit of everything, coaching, offense, and defense. Let me tune 100% correct. I think more than anything, coaching has to take majority of the blame on this one, guys, for sure, though, in my opinion. Why are we still not getting to QB? Luke, I think you should rewatch the game. I love you. I just don't know. I don't know if you watched the game. Uh, yeah. I mean, if you mean like in terms of actually getting him down in time before he could make a throw, then yeah, I can't deny that. But to say there's no pressure on him, the Detroit Lions, coming into this matchup, quite literally led the league in pressures. I mean, we were tied, and I don't know who tied with us, but I know that we were number one. He was number one. No, yeah, in terms of sacks, that's what I'm saying. In terms of sacks, there's no debate. But in terms of pressure, I beg you to rewatch that game, especially. I know for certain, like I said before, in the first quarter, there's definitely pressure. I mean, there's pressure all game though. Kirk Cousins was forced to throw the ball out of bounds. We had multiple bad throws, multiple early throws. That stuff happened because there was pressure on him. We just can't seem to finish. And whether that's something that comes in development of like year two of a guy who's in his rookie year, Aiden Hutchinson, or I think Josh Pascal. I think he'll be. I mean, John Kaminsky. I said on the heavyweights during this week too. I think he was like losing him. Like I think really hurt. I think he did a lot more than people realize. He was a true heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? He did that, just the nasty work, the grit work, taking on the double teams. You know what I'm saying? Like just being such a chaotic mess for the offensive line that allowed those one-on-one situations for guys like Charles Harris and Aiden Hutchinson. Aleem had a decent day though too. I think Aleem had a decent day too. CK was sacked once. Kirk Cousins. Yeah, correct. He was sacked once. Y'all love PFF so much. Tell me, where do Lions rank in QB hits and pressure? Well, QB pressure, like I said, coming into this week, they rank number one. QB hits, I don't know. I don't subscribe to PFF. I'm not a big PFF guy, but there's Pro Football Reference that you could use for some of that stuff too. Aleem had a decent day though. Yep, defense pressured KC, Kirk Cousins. He missed open guys because of the pressure. 7 QB hits. Kirk Cousins was standing there doing complicated taxes. Luke, you are wild. That's a wild. How do you watch that game and then like you have that to say? That's like it's like you didn't watch the game. And now you're questioning Aiden Hutchinson's motor. All right, Luke, you're a crazy human being, a blind one. You're either blind or crazy. I love you though. No matter your flaws, you're still my guy. I respect you. All right, guys. I'm pulling up. Luke, if you want to come on Tuesday, or actually you come up tomorrow. The cost. I mean, I don't know if you want to hear me say that, but coming up tomorrow, we don't have to put a picture on it. It can just be audio. But I will be at the Coliseum tomorrow night for Monday Night Football. My guy Spin More Rex, Kung Fu Spinny. If you guys don't know, if you haven't tuned in, I go live every day from Uber Sports from 5 to 7. Make sure you guys come through and support because I'm not gonna lie to you guys, we actually got in trouble this week. Just you guys know, man. I mean, if you rocking me for a while, you know that I'm just a wild boy. I be doing some wild things. I would say some wild things. Um, some may be deemed as inappropriate or whatever, but they tried cutting up on me and Spencer this week about that. And so I asked the audience, I'm like, yo, I need you guys. I mean, dead ass. I'm telling you right now, we need you guys to hit that like button because if not, they're gonna use that excuse to like make us boring and or take us off air, which I don't want to happen, obviously. But I mean, we'll see. Um, nobody control me like that, though. As you know, I could always just go live from my page if that ever does happen. So, um, yeah, you know how it is. How the hell can they? Yeah, yeah, I know. Well, guys, I appreciate you. Oh, when that Luke chill. All right, guys, holler at me on Twitter if you want to talk about the game a little bit more. I just pulled up to my mom's house. I'm about to pick up my son and hopefully enjoy the rest of my damn day. I'm glad I went live because it was much needed, bro. If you watched my demeanor and attitude from the beginning of the stream to how it is now, night and day. I needed a breather from that one.